Oh, yes, a pleasant good day, a blessing good day to everyone. A blessing good day to everyone. Once again, I am Umar Muhammed, Calypsonian disciple, transmitting to you from East Dry River, Port of Spain. Now, remember the last time I spoke concerning numbers. I spoke, just let me adjust this here a little bit. Yeah, the last time concerning numbers, I spoke about the third of the third month 2021. I spoke about my first relationship lasted 21 years, and the 25th of this third month will make it 12 years in my second relationship. So 21 turned back to front is 12. But anyhow, I went through all that already, but just a short review of what went on. Let me see here. Yes, the third of the third, 21. So what I did was the plus 3 plus 21, because the third of the third 21, equal 27. 3 into 27 equal 9. 3 into 9 equal 3. 7 3s are 21. So the 3 continues to dominate. Even 7 multiplied by 3 is 21. So we come back to the third, the 3, the 7, and 21. These are the three main numbers in this month, the month of March. So when you check up 21 and when you check up 3 and 7 plus 21, you get 31. And 31 is the amount of days in the month of March. So that's just a short review of the third of the third, 21. Now, what we are doing today, so it's just about 18 minutes past the hour. No, it's just 20 minutes past the hour of 7 a.m. Today is the 18th day in the month of March. Calypsonian disciple. Before I go into the next topic of numbers, let me say that when I was a young man growing up in this district, I used to dine by the roadside. And they used to call me professor. In some cases, naughty professor, because they considered me to be a very naughty person. Naughty person, N-A-U-G-H-T-Y, right? And sometimes you may say naughty, N-U-T-T-Y, according to how you want to put it. Naughty professor. Why? Because I used to talk about things that they couldn't imagine that these things would have come to pass. And I used to rebel against the smoking, because I used to tell them, well, listen now, smoking ain't good, because as a young man, I wait until my father, in fact, when my father went out or went to work, I went in his pants, took out a pack of cigarettes. In those days, you had the Anchor Special cigarette. And my mother wasn't there also, and I lit a match and smoke. And then I started to cough and cough. And then I asked myself the question, what is this smoking thing all about? I think I was about 8 or 9 years old. I went to the library, which was on Pembroke Street, the old public library. I asked for a book on smoking cigarette, and the librarian showed me a book. And I saw the dangers of smoking, what it does to the lungs, what the cigarette contains. And I said to myself, the human being lungs was not created to inhale carbon or things that burn up and to be putting it out, because we were not created to be chimneys. Our lungs was not created to be like a chimney. It was created to inhale oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, because the burning up of the oxygen takes place inside of the body, and the body gives it out. You don't have to burn up something on the outside and then bring it on the inside and then push it out. That will spoil your lungs. That will deteriorate the lining in the lungs. Right? But many of us do it. Okay? But I was just looking into the health science, the facts of smoking. Right? So, as I grew older, I went into such things like eating meat. And I realized that if you're going to kill a fowl, you hold the fowl start a ball, or the animal start a ball, and you have to hold it down, because if you let it go, it will run, because the animal will know definitely you have a knife in your hand, or the animal has high senses, sometimes high senses more than we, that you're going to kill it. Right? If you pass near to a cat and the cat watch you do, the cat will run, because they have a very high sense. Right? And the animal will run, the animal will go its way, try to get away. The animal will say, well, okay, you don't have to hold me down. I give up myself. I come for you to kill me so that you can eat me. No. If you cut off the animal foot and say, well, if the animal running, and you pelt a chop and you cut off the animal foot, and you say, we get the foot, we'll eat it, the animal foot will remain like that. It wouldn't go back. In fact, the animal may dead. But here comes the vegetables. Here comes the Garden of Eden. As they said, the fruit of the trees was created for meat as man. You pick the fruit, you chop off a branch, you plant and them in balling, you plant and them in running away. If you chop off a branch, you will be surprised to see the next branch go back, or the tree will go back fuller. You know why? That it ain't balling, it ain't running away. And if you chop off a branch or pick a fruit, it will continue to grow once you dig up the root. Because that was put there for you as food. Your food wouldn't run from you. When thing running from you, it is not for you to eat it as food. When you have to kill something and spill it blood and have to ball out and feel the pain, it is not for you to eat it as food. So the vegetables, they were put there for you as food, the herbs, the leaves, and whatever it is. And you have to eat of that. And to make matters better, these same vegetables, these same fruits and the leaves and the trees, what they do, they help you survive. Because they breathe in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. So you see? So there is where I got my own instinct that, hey, meat ain't good to eat. Furthermore, we were not created with the kind of teeth to tear off meat and so on. We were not created with the kind of lungs or the kind of digestive system to digest meat as it should. It takes longer to digest and it spoils faster, so it creates bacteria in your body, get you constipated. Right? That is what it does. Okay? So we eat the meat because it tastes nice, or because some part of the scripture say this is what you shall eat. Well, the vegetarian was there before. The flood came and it washed away the vegetarian. And they say, well, okay, since you can, according to the scripture, since you can't get vegetarian, you shall eat. But this is what you shall eat of, and this is what you shall not eat of. But since that gone, we come back to the vegetarian. So why go back to the meat? The meat probably was only an excuse because of the vegetables were not around. But flood passed according to the biblical thing, and we have all the vegetarian around us, right? So it comes now as though we have a choice to remain with the old thing or to continue the new thing. So with that, they call me Naughty Professor, Scientist, Milkman. I used to like to drink a lot of milk, but when I stopped drinking milk because again it came to my understanding or overstanding that the cow was created with milk in its body for the young ones, not for human beings. We are the only living kind that gives milk from an animal to our young ones, right? Breast milk is the best milk, right? So we drinking cow's milk, and the cow's milk was not created for us, and it was not created for our stomach, our digestive system. So again, all these things cause corruption in our body and sickness. But I should like to drink milk every day. Milkman, strongman. I still exercise. I still do some weightlifting and exercise, push-ups and weightlifting, bench press and so on. Johnny Walker, because I used to like to walk plenty. Pay Me Man, I used to sell Pay Me. They still call me Ice Cream Man. I used to sell all the nice, wonderful names you could get. Nobody has ever given me a bad name. When I became a Calypsonian, I gave myself the name Disciple because of the way I move in life and so on. And one day I changed it and I put vegetarian. And people watch me, the Calypsonian watch me, they say, no man, go back to Disciple, man, don't put a vegetarian, how years move and so on. Right? I went into the Orisha practice. They say I'm a child of Obatala because Obatala is Jenku, Nick and Maya. So it follows me all along the line. That's why I say I'm second Sengen, Olaiwala, Makinde, Arishakunola, all these are spiritual names and so on. Then I have my original name, Neville Angelo Scott. Then my Muslim name, Umar Muhammed. So, I have the names and the different vibrations around me according to my state of evolution in life. As I go through from one system to a next system, or from one dimension to a next dimension, and as we go to different dimensions, we get older, our body elevates to a higher dimension, while spiritually, while our physical body is degraded or breaks down to a lower dimension, right? Because we are going back to where we came from above, and we are going back to where we're going down back to where we came from, to the earth. So that's about it. So today's topic, what I'm going to do is to tell you, we continue with the numbers. So I will deal with family numbers. Family numbers or relative numbers. These numbers are family numbers because they agree with one another. Now the relative numbers on this side, let me see. The relative numbers on this side here, I also call them consecutive numbers, sorry. Because after 1 you have 2, after 2 you have 3, look at it good, after 3 you have 4, after 4 you have 5, after 5 you have 6, after 6 you have 7, after 7 you have 8, after 8 you have 9. So consecutively you have 1, 2, then you come down to the next number that has a following like that, 2, 3, then you go to 3, 3, 4, then you go to 4, 4, 5, then you go to 5, 5, 6, then you go to 6, 6, 7, then you go to 7, 7, 8, then you go to 8, 8, 9. So put it all together, you have 12, 23, 34, 45, 56, 67, 78, 89. Now we didn't go further than 89 because when they go to 9, they don't have 90, nothing, there's no consecutive number above 9 to make it 98, because we are not going with 98, we are going with 9 and the next number that is more than 9. This is how we went with 1, and the next number that is more than 1 is 2. We went with 2. The next number that is more than 2 is 3. 3. The next number that is more than 3 is 4, and continue with 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. So we put 99 aside, right? Okay, now we go on to twin numbers, because we're dealing with family numbers or relative numbers. And here we have the twin numbers. Here we have the twin numbers 11, 22, 23, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. Now the 99 comes in. So if you check it out here, you'll get 11, which is the first twin number, 22, the second twin number, because the two numbers are alike. They're in sync, they're in tandem with one another, right? They synchronize with one another. 20. What did I do here? I should not have put 23. I should have put 33. Sorry, I made a mistake. Let me get my this is a big mistake I made here. I don't know how I will be able to correct it, but it's a mistake. I put it should be 33. Oh, where did I put my? Is this it here? This is it here? Or this is the red. Just excuse me for a while. Let me look and see. Oh yes, here it is. Ah boy, I made a mistake here. So what I should have put here is 33. So let me see, 9 and 8 is 17, and 7 is 24, and 6 is 30, and 5 is 35, and 4 is 39, and 3 is 42, 43, 44, 45. Let me see again, 9 and 8 is 17, and 7 is 24, 24 and 6 is 30, and 5 is 35, and 4 is 39, and 3 is 42, and 2 is 44, and 1 is 45. So it causing an so all right, 45, 4, 5, 5. Okay. When we reach that, we'll see if we can make some correction. So here it is. Here it is. 11, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. Those are twin numbers, right? Now, why did I put an 11 in the middle here? Because 11 makes the difference with the relative numbers, and the twin numbers are all together the family numbers, because starting from the consecutive numbers or the relative numbers across here. 12 and 11 is 23, and 11 is 34, and 11, right. Come on, man, adjust yourself. Right. 12 and 11 is 23, and 11 is 34, and 11 is 45, and 11 is 56, and 11 is 67, and 11 is 78, and 11 is 89. Right? Now, we go across to the twin numbers. 11 and 11 is 22, and 11 is 33, and 11 is 44, and 11 is 51, and it continues the same way. So 11 is the control number, the ruling number, the foundation number, right? Now, I went down to 99 on the twin side. I could not have done so on this side, of course, here. I went down to 99 because it's twin numbers, right? So, that's it on this side. So this one. Now, we continue with this one. 11 and 11 on top is 22, right? So what I did, what I did was to 11, yes, 12. What I did, I wonder if I pick up the right thing. Oh no, this is it here. This is it here. Well, I realized I made a correction here, so it saves me a lot of problem. Right. So here you have I should have somebody helping me do this, Yeah. So here you have the consecutive numbers here, 12, 23, 34. And here you have the twin numbers here. Okay? So what I did was to add up the consecutive numbers all together, 12 plus 23 plus 34 plus 45 plus 56 plus 67 plus 78 plus 89, and I came up with 404. And I multiplied by 8 and I've divided 8 into it because why? Because we have 8 sets of these numbers, consecutive numbers, right? You have 1, you have 1, 2, let me come here, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I get 404, so I divided 8 into 40 is 5. I had 4 remaining and I put a note with it, and I get 8 into 40 again is 5, so that's 55. So we're still within the area of the twin numbers or the consecutive numbers. 55 twin numbers. All right. I went across to the twin numbers and I also add up all the twin numbers. And you know what I got? I got 495, right? As you see, 11, 22, 33. We're dealing with the twin numbers now. 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. And I got 495. 9 into 49. 5 nines are 45 and 4 is 49. 9 into 45, 5. So again, we come out with 55. 55. Twin numbers, right? Consecutive numbers give you a twin number added up all together. Twin number added up all together is still maintain a twin number, right? Why multiply by 9? Because why divide by 9? Because you have 9 sets of twin numbers. 11, 1, 2, count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On this side here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it happened to be 495, and I 9 into 495, 55. Again, the same thing I did with the consecutive numbers, because all these numbers are relative numbers because they relate. On the whole, I call them family numbers. 8 sets of 8 sets of consecutive numbers. So 8 into 404, and you get, so both times you get 55. Okay. Now, what I want you all to do is to look at something, right? If you look, let me get a pointer, see if I can get a pointer. If you look at these numbers, you'll realize that 2 on an incline, 2, 2. What am I? 21, 2, 2, 21. Oh no, sorry, no, that's a mistake. Let me go back to this here. Yes, if you look at the consecutive numbers, you'll realize the formation of the consecutive numbers on an incline. So when you go over here, you get 2, 2, get a pointer. Right. You get 2, 2 on an incline. All right. 2, 2 here on an incline. Then you get 3, 3 on an incline, 4, 4 on an incline. Now when I say 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, if you look at the first number on top, which is 12, and the second number underneath, you realize on an incline, the two 2's are relative to one another, right? All right, let me see. Right, let me see. This 2 is relative to this 2 here. This 3 is relative to this 3 here. This, right, you go across. This 4 is relative to this 4 here. And it goes down. It goes down, right down. Right? Now, when I finish add up, when I get the 55 here from added together from the relative numbers, from the consecutive numbers, and the 55 from the twin numbers, I went into this. I took the 55, which is, let me see here. All right, I took the 55 from both numbers, because remember both of the twin numbers and the consecutive numbers added up together, you get 50, the answer 55 on both sides. So I took the 55 and I multiplied by 55, right? Because remember, we're trying all kind of things, and we multiplying and adding, we're not subtracting. I got 3,025. Okay? At the 3,025, I went back to the foundation number 11 and divided 11 into 3,025. I got 275. Then I divide again 11, because both sides have 11. That makes 11 as a difference in the numbers. I get 275, right? So which means to say 11 into 275, I get 25. So both 11 divided into 3,025, and again dividing it into the answer, it comes out flush, 25, right? But you have two 11s to do that. 11 for the executive number, and 11 for the consecutive number, and 11 for the twin number. Now to add up now, I added 55 and 55 instead of multiplied, I get 110, right? Now you should know that 11 into 110 is 11. So here we fall right back onto the 11. Right back onto where we started the foundation number. The 25, we cannot do anything with that. Why we cannot do anything with that? Because any number that does not relate or does not become a family member of the twin number or the consecutive numbers, I consider those numbers as friendly numbers or neighborly numbers, in that they are not in the family, but they are around the family. It comes like if you have a house in a village or a community, the family has a house, right, for themselves. The family have a house for themselves. But you have the neighbors and the friends around, right? So the friendly numbers or the neighborly numbers is what we didn't deal with this morning. Probably we'll deal with that in the next time. What we dealt with or what we are dealing with is the relative numbers and the twin numbers. Because twins are also relative. Relative numbers become twin numbers, right? But you must realize that something I did here, the twin numbers, now you cannot turn the twin numbers back to front because there's no back to front with the twin numbers. The two numbers are all even. 1, 1, 11, 2, 2, 22, you know. 3 and 3 put together 33, 4 and 4, 4. So you have no back to front. But the relative numbers, you have back to front, right? So as you have 21, you put that back to front, you get 12. As you have 23, you put it back to front, you get 32. And here it is here. (21) back to front, 12 back to front, you get 21, 23 back to front, you get 32, 34 back to front, you get 43, and you go right down. Okay? Again, yeah, well, we did that addition already. And the difference again still remains 11 because 21 and 11 is 32, and 11 is 43, and 11 is 54, and 11 and so on and so on. So that is it. We have found out that with twin numbers and the consecutive numbers, two consecutive numbers I should say, because if you say consecutive, you didn't go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just two numbers, because we're trying to make it simple and sensible. The foundation of those two numbers is 11, right? That is it. That is what we have proven. The foundation of these two numbers is 11, right? So sometime again I'll come back and we'll deal with the mystery of numbers, the mysticism of numbers, right? However you want to put it, the puzzles of numbers, because as I've said before, numbers are very spiritual. The day you were born, numbers. How many cycles the earth takes before it becomes a year? Numbers. How many hours per day? Numbers. Minutes, numbers. How many revolution the atoms and molecules and protons and neutrons, all, and nothing ever goes in a straight line. Numbers. That is why I started with 11 and I came right back at the ending to 11. What goes around comes around. So, Calypsonian disciple, naughty professor, ice cream man, penny man, milkman, mad scientist. Hey, I forget to tell all you something. They even call me Obian man and all. Yeah. You know, when people can't understand the ancient African spirit, because we were not in religion before. In a religion came about long after the man whom you call Jesus, or Christ, or whatever, if I want to call him. Whomever you say was Jesus or Christ, religion came long after that. Because when you look in the scriptures, according to the scriptures, my peace I bring to you, my peace I leave with you. Peace is what was taught to us, right? But what you see today, Catholic, Anglican, Presbyterian, all of them, and they are not at peace with one another because the Anglican do go in the Catholic church and all kind of nonsense, nothing. That is not what the Messiah taught us. That's not how the Messiah taught us to live. In my Father's house, they will say there are many mansions, but does it mean to say that in many mansions have to be fighting against one another, prejudice against one another, that have to be practicing social distancing amongst one another? Oh no. I call it social distancing, because if the Catholic have a parade going down on Independence Square, traveling from east to west, and the Jehovah's Witness have not a parade, a procession traveling from west to east, you will never see that they come across to one and shake hands and hug up one another. You might be looking at one another with a cut eye, right? And the Baptists don't go by the Jehovah Witness, or should a Jehovah Witness passing by the Baptist, and he said, well, listen, the Baptists have a permitting, let me go and let me pray, let me go. No, no, no. It's all an evil way of doing things, to divide and rule, right? And if you want to say, Jesus never taught us to divide and rule. He taught us to come together, right? To come together. As the Beatles have a song saying, come together right now over me. Oh, the final song. All right, I'll go on, Calypsonian disciple.